What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. So today we've got a new reaction on the menu. This is our first introduction to some Blackpink soloists on the channel here. So obviously, I live under a rock, but not that much of a rock that I haven't heard of any Blackpink songs before. I've heard a bunch of Blackpink songs. I like a bunch of them. Some of them aren't my taste, but I've never gotten super into Blackpink. But I've never actually gotten into really any of their solo work. Basically at all. The only thing of their solo work that I've seen is Jennie's MMA performance that I watched from this year, so last week. But that's literally it as for the solo work. So today we have Rosé's Number One Girl official music video, and this will be my first time seeing any of their solo music videos. Now that I think about it, I don't actually think I've seen any of their group music videos. I've just listened to the songs. Maybe we'll have to do that on here sometime. But for now, we've got Rosé, we've got Number One Girl. Let's check it out.
Tell me that I'm special. Tell me I look pretty. Tell me I'm a little angel. Sweetheart of your city. Say what I'm dying to hear.
Oh, I'm already seeing some good color matching here going on.
Tell me I'm that new thing. Tell me that I'm relevant. Tell me that I got a big heart. And back it up with evidence. I need it and I don't know why.
Her hair is really pretty.
Isn't it lonely? I'd do anything to make you want me. I'd give it all up if you told me that I'd be the number one girl in your eyes. You're one and only. So what's it gonna take for you to want me? I'd give it all up if you told me that I'd be the number one girl in your eyes.
She's so pretty.
Tell me I'm going real big places, down to earth, so friendly, and even through all the phases. Tell me you accept me. Well, that's all I'm dying to hear. Yeah, I'm dying to hear you. Tell me that you need me.
Oh, this scene is really cool.
Tell me that I'm worth it.
And that little flickering light.
I need it and I don't know why. This late at night, isn't it lonely? I'd do anything to make you want me. I'd give it all up if you told me that I'd be the number one girl in your eyes. You're one and only. So what's it gonna take for you to want me? I'd give it all up if you told me that I'd be the number one girl in your eyes. The girl in your eyes. The girl in your eyes. Tell me I'm the number one girl. I'm the number one girl in your eyes. The girl in your eyes. The girl in your eyes. Tell me I'm the number one girl. I'm the number one girl in your eyes. Well, isn't it lonely? I'd do anything to make you want me. I'd give it all up if you told me that I'd be the number one girl in your eyes. You're one and only. So what's it
Yes,
gonna take for you
that intensification, the emotion through the bridge.
if you told me that I'd be the number one girl in your eyes. The number one girl in your eyes.
She does such a self-directed. So cool. She does such a good job of really getting into the emotion of each lyric as she sings. But wow, self-directed is really cool. I like the vision that she had for this. Like, it's a simplistic vibe, but like throughout it you can really see how every choice was intentional, and like this simple kind of atmosphere of it, like that little bit of like blur throughout it, like it creates that like kind of intimate atmosphere, like the lower lighting, the differences in the spotlight. It just feels like a video where it's very much meant to connect to the viewers, to the listeners, with an emotional song like this. I also think it's interesting, like the song being number one girl, and throughout it there were a lot of shots where like she's duplicated. So just like the idea of like, I want to be the number one girl, like the only one, the number one in your eyes, but then contrasting that with like there being multiple of her in certain shots, like I don't even know, like in a way like almost she's competing with herself somehow. um it's just an interesting like detail playing on that number one girl lyric. But the coloring in this was really nice. It was subtle, but it all went together really well. And there was some cool spotlighting too going on. I want to get deeper into that. So,
Tell me that I'm special.
yeah, like this shot, like from right from the beginning, like you can see how well everything is color matched. Like these blues match with the jeans perfectly, contrast with that black. And then this street light literally is the exact same shade of yellow as her hair. Like that is very intentional to perfectly match that shade. And just like they're not using a ton of colors. So everything being matched, it just, it really adds to it. And like you even notice some similar like dimensions and geometries, like with these lines, like the three lines going across here, and then the similar lines on the fence. And even like this kind of pattern, like this little like staircase step of this like skate park type of thing, it kind of also matches like with the fence up here in the background, even though you can't see it that well. But it's just like creating these symmetries throughout the scene that makes it go really well together. And because there aren't like so many elements going on, matching the few that you have, it really creates that nice cohesive shot so that it feels easy, it feels simple to look at.
Tell me I look pretty. Tell me I'm a little angel, sweetheart of your city. Say what I'm dying to hear, 'cause I'm dying.
And like here, I mean, she looks stunning. I love this like curl on her hair because, like I said, I was just talking about like the linear aspects of the shot right before this. I mean, like that still continues with this blue here, which adds a nice contrast into this scene because if you didn't have this like blue line coming through, it's all like very much one note with the tone of the wall and her hair and her skin being relatively similar. So having this touch of cool in here, it just kind of breaks things up and then it emphasizes her even more. But the curls, I really like them, like just on a note that they look really pretty on her, and it softens her vibe, her face. It goes well with like that soft yellow tone of her hair. But then it contrasts that really linear aspect of the scenes that we were just seeing. And again, it has that contrast. It softens up the scene a little bit. It makes you focus on her more because there's that contrast.
Tell me I'm that new thing. Tell me that I'm relevant. Tell me that I got a big heart.
I like this mosaic wall. It's cool. And I notice like this blue and this orange here, just like one little piece of color coming out.
New thing. Tell me that I'm relevant. Tell me that I got a big heart. And back it up with evidence.
And you can see that orange right here again.
I need it and I don't know why. This late at night, isn't it lonely? This late at night, and I don't know why. This late at night, isn't it lonely?
She sounds so good. I really love her voice through this. And like at the end, I was talking about like after that first watch, she really gets into the emotion of it. and you hear like that almost like sort of rasp in her voice, and you actually don't hear it at the beginning. It's kind of a transition into it as the song intensifies. But like here in this first chorus, her voice is so clear and so pure, and then you can kind of sense like as she gets deeper into the emotion of the song, you hear more of that rasp.
This late at night, isn't it lonely? I'd do anything to make you
Oh, okay. Here's that blue and that orange again. Like I was talking about, those two little rectangles in the mosaic. So it looks like our main colors are that blue, black, and the orange, which like also kind of goes along with the yellow.
Anything to make you want me. Give it up if you told me that I'd be the number one girl in your eyes. You're one and only. So what's it gonna take for you to want me? I'd give it all up if you told me that I'd be the
And I like this shot again, like this is the shot we were at earlier, but also I wanted to just talk about like the spotlighting, which we see on her a lot through this video, because it kind of creates like that vignette effect of like kind of spotlighting her and then having it start to blur out, darken out towards the edges. But then we also get the extra dimension of these shadows, which just adds a lot to the shot.
number one girl in your eyes. Tell me, one girl in your eyes.
Okay, so when I first watched it, like there were a few shots where I was like, it looks like she has black highlights in her hair, but then I was like, maybe it's just like her shirt, like that negative space. No, she actually does have black highlights in the ends of her hair. You can see it over here too. I really like that. It looks really cool. It adds so much dimension to it, which is really nice. And then again, it stays in that color theme, and they just do a really good job of organizing all of these shots. Like I said, it's a simple vibe, but everything is still tailored perfectly. Like this jacket, it adds a nice contrast between like her arms and her pants and the wall behind her. But if she was actually wearing the jacket, then it would just like, it would distract from her actual like body and just create like a black negative space of her entire torso because her shirt is black too. But having it down here, like it creates contrast. Like you can see it's basically at exactly the level where her shirt ends. So you're not getting any blurring between the black of her shirt and the black of the sweatshirt. But it adds some dimension down here while also emphasizing just like her actual body up here. And then again, obviously goes with the color scheme.
Tell me I'm going real big places. Tell me I'm going real big places.
So the lighting here is really cool.
Tell me.
Like I said, they play a lot with this spotlighting, and like even in this one shot, like look how bright, like overexposed almost it is right here. And then it kind of moves a little bit, and then we shift into this very warm, darker, more saturated tones. Just like in this one shot, you get two completely different views.
Big places, down to earth, so friendly, and even through all the phases, tell me you accept me. Well, that's all I'm dying to hear. Yeah, I'm dying to hear you.
And like this shot with the wall is just like particularly captivating because like I said, I really like the intricacies of this mosaic, like the patterns we've created, like this wave pattern, and then also having just this touch of color here. But then at the same time, it divides up the shot in a really interesting way. Just like having all of this interesting mosaic here down, and then just wall, and then black, darkness, sky above it. But she is just a little bit above that division. So again, it just like, it really emphasizes your view right on her because she doesn't match the pattern or like the division that's going on here between these two parts of the shot. She she's just like a little bit in both. So it's interesting. And now that I think about it, you do kind of see it a lot here. Like in this shot, like you have that similar division with the skate park ramp. I'm not entirely sure that's what it is, but that's what I think it looks like. And the sky, and again, she's just a little bit above it. And then when we have the fence kind of dividing the shot in a somewhat similar way. So it's just a way of connecting all of these shots through similar composition. And it's really interesting. And like I said, I just really like this one, like the geometry, the dimension, like of these different shapes, these shadows, and then how it like kind of has a hill up towards the end. So the horizon isn't where you expect it to be. It's just like, it's very cool. And you see that blue and that orange again. But also like, they kind of play with this flickering light here. Like you see these like blue stripes that appear just for a second. Is really neat. Like, see? So again, that just plays off those blue and black stripes we were seeing earlier. But like you barely notice it. Like it almost looks like a flicker of the camera. And I think like I always have my brightness turned all the way up when I'm watching videos to react to. I think if my brightness was lower, like I wouldn't even notice it. But I think subconsciously it still helps connect those shots. Tell me that I'm loved. Tell me that I'm worth it and that I'm enough. Like, see, you can really start to hear like that emotion come through her voice. Tell me that I'm worth it and that I'm enough. I need it and I don't know why. This late at night, isn't it lonely? I'd do anything to make you want me. Give it all up if you told me that I'd be the number one girl in your eyes. You're one and only. So like I was saying, like you really like you start to hear like this point she gets to with her voice where she like is almost breaking but not quite, and you just really feel that emotion just through this whole chorus and that pre-chorus leading into it especially. But this shot here, we see that difference in the lighting again. Like I was talking about earlier where it went like warm, cool, like from the cool overexposed to that warm yellowy touch, and we have that same thing happening here just between these three shots. So again, it's just like, it's an interesting way that they're able to add a lot of depth and just like interest and impact into the video while still keeping it very simple, like very, like not a ton going on each set, not a ton of different sets or shots, but they make each shot different by using these different techniques. And it's just interesting how they do it so often here, because a lot of times, like when we're going over music videos, the color theme or like the warmth or cool theme stays very consistent throughout. Whereas here, it's kind of the opposite, where we have these lower key actual like sets and scenes, but we're changing a lot with the lighting. And see with that blue, like this light that's on her is even like reflecting a little bit of that blue that we've been seeing throughout all of the scenes, off of this rail, off of her shirt too. You got a little bit of that touch of orange that we've been seeing. She has such a pretty voice, and she has really stable vocals. Like when we get to those points where like her voice is seeming like it's almost breaking or she has that rasp, it's purposeful to deliver emotion, because you can see throughout the rest of the song, like, there are points where she can be clear when she wants to be clear, and fully stable and pure when she wants to be stable and pure. And she can manipulate all of the different ways she's using her voice to really express that emotion throughout. And that's really powerful. See, here we have like another similar thing to like those shots I showed you earlier with like the warm, cool, warm. It's kind of like a similar contrast here, even though the color scheme isn't changing, but like the vibe of these two shots. Like here, she's like balancing on the little things, like it's very playful, like little kid on a playground vibes, just having fun. And then here it's like depression shot. So just that contrast between the two moods without actually changing anything about the shot itself, all the lighting and all that, it's all staying exactly the same, but just her herself completely changing the vibe just between those two little shots. And again, the dimension of this scene with the hill too is super cool. Yeah, you can see the black highlights really well here. I really like it. It's such a cool look. And I mean, you don't see it often because usually highlights are the opposite, but like these reverse highlights, I really like it. I really like the dimension it creates. And see, like here again, like you have that divided shot where she takes up just a little bit more space above the division. And you even see the color matching between like this bronzy orangey and right on one of these necklaces too.
Isn't it lonely? I'd do anything to make you want me. I'd give it all up if you told you. Isn't it lonely? I'd do anything to make you.
Like, see, you hear that like that kind of rasp, like huskiness that comes into her voice. Ooh, it's really good.
You want me, I'd give it all up if you told me that I'd be the number one girl in your eyes.
See, and then we have that perfect intensification from an emotional bridge with like very low key instrumental behind it, like not a lot going on in the instrumental there, like it's very much just her voice shining. And then we get like into those powerful vocals, more powerful instrumental into the outro, still just as emotional, but that contrast just really heightens the intensity and the climax of the song. Songs need bridges, guys. And see that lighting change again, like very warm toned here, and then this like it cools down a lot, like you see a lot brighter whites, a lot more exposure. See, like I said, like as she's singing Number One Girl, there's 3 of her. And I just think that juxtaposition is interesting. Like you can see just at the very, very end of that note, there's just like that little bit, like that almost breaking of the voice that she adds in there. It's so like perfectly emotional for the song. Like see right there, right at the end. And then getting into a little low register at the end. You guys know I love a low register. And self-directed, like I said, that is so cool. I love it when artists get to a point in their careers that they really start to feel confident in creating a creative direction for themselves and really getting involved in the production. I think that's super cool, and this was really well done. Like, it kept that very simple, intimate vibe, like with like the lower quality, kind of like more pixelated, a little bit soft and blurry camera work, or not camera work, but camera quality, because it brings that softness. It makes you feel more connected to it, like with the low lighting at night and the spotlighting on her. Just really cool how I think it's interesting to go through videos like this that are like on the simpler side, where it doesn't seem like there's quite as much going on, or it feels like it's lower budget. But at the same time, if you really look into it, you can see just how well thought out everything is, how connected each shot is, how they use the lighting, the dimensions, the colors, the shapes of each shot to connect everything, to make it cohesive, to create specific emotions. And this did a really, really good job of that. So I liked it a lot. I love her voice. I think she's gorgeous. So if you guys have any other recommendations for me of her music, of Blackpink, or their other soloist music, you can recommend them to me below. We are a little bit busy on content this month. I have the whole month mostly planned out, so we might not get to it super soon, but I write down all of your recommendations, or if you want to recommend me like any B-sides just to listen to on my own, for my own enjoyment, I'm always happy to find new music. So let me know all your recommendations. This song was really good. Like, it's not gonna be one I'm like playing on repeat, because like it's an emotional song. The songs that I play on repeat are ones that are like dance bangers, like sports montage type music. But the song was still really good, and she does such a great job of really interpreting and transmitting and expressing the emotion and intensifying it throughout the song in the different ways that she's able to manipulate her voice. So I really enjoyed it. And yeah, like I said, make sure to leave a like, comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already. We react to tons of different girl groups. We get a boy group in there occasionally, but we're mostly girl group central. So come along for the ride. And if you want to check out any specific groups, I have everything in playlists, organized. So in my playlist tab, you can go check out all my reactions by group. And Patreon, link is in the description and in my bio. Like I mentioned earlier, we watched Jennie's MMA performance. So all of the award show performances, end of the year shows, all of that we watch on my Patreon, as well as any random recommendations, random performances from you guys, all the variety content, Lee Mujin services, behind the scenes episodes. We got it all going on over there. So come check it out. Come join the gang over there. Come subscribe and join the gang here. And I'm so thankful for all of you who support me.